Hi, this is Mr. Nazarian. Our learning objective today, I can read, write, and compare decimals to the thousandths. 5th grade standard NBT3. Okay, so as we're starting to work with decimals, first we need to be able to read them to understand what they mean when we see a number written in decimal form. So, as you can see, this is 0.1. The digit that is just to the left of the decimal point is always the ones place. So as you can see, as most all of these ones here, they're all zeros. So there's nothing. This value is less than one whole because it's 0 point, and then everything, I should say the digit immediately to the right of the decimal point is the tenths place. So that means that I would read this as 1/10. Okay, because you can see there's a 1, it's in the 10th place, so it's 1/10. This next one, 0.2, there's a 2 in that. Remember the place value, that's the tenths place, so it's 2/10. 3.3 is 3/10, 0.4 is 4/10, and so on. So and then we'll get down to 0.9 is 9/10, and then as you know, if I add another 10 to that, 10/10 is the same as 1 whole. So we can't put a 10 in the 10th place once we have 10/10. That means that we move this over to the ones place here, and we have 1 whole with 0 other fractional parts. So it's 1.0. 10/10 is just 1 whole. Okay. And we're going to talk about when you see 2 place values to the right of the decimal point, and that is when we are reading hundredths. So immediately to the right of the decimal point is the tenths, and then to the right of that is the hundredths place. So if you have 0.01, that means we have 0 in the ones place, we have 0 in the tenths place, but we have 1 in the hundredths place, so it's 1/100ths. 0.02 would be 200ths, 0.03 300ths, and so forth. And so really you're just seeing the digit. So right here I see a 9. I see it's in the hundredths place, so it's 9/100ths. And so then after 9/100ths it would be 10/100ths. And 10/100ths, we can't fit a 10 in this one place value, right? So it moves over to the next place value. So 10/100ths is the same as 1/10, and we would know that as we've been working with equivalent fractions. That 10/100ths, if I divided this by 10 on top and divided by 10 on the bottom, that would equal 1/10. So you know that is a true statement. So 10/10 is the same as 1/10. So even though you can read this as I see 10, and the last digit in that 10 is in the hundredths place, you could read it as 10/100ths, but it's also, there's 1 in the tenths place, so it's 1/10. Okay, and lastly, we're going to learn all the way to the thousandths place. And so this here, what we're looking at are in the thousandths place. So remember, the digit immediately to the right of the decimal point is the tenths. To the right of that is the hundredths. And to the right of that is the thousandths. So if I'm looking at that, I'm seeing 1, and it's in the thousandths place, so it's 1/1000ths. The next one I see a 2, it's in the thousandths place, so it's 2/1000ths, and so forth. We get to 9/1000ths, and then we can't fit 10 into one place value, right? That's 2 digits. We gotta have 1 digit for each place value. So instead of 9/1000ths, we have 10/1000ths. Again, you can read this as, if you are looking both of these digits, this is 10, right? And the place value of the last digit of that 10 is in the thousandths place, so you can read it as 10/1000ths. But also you can read it as, I'm looking at a 1 here, and it's in the, remember, tenths, hundredths, it's in the hundredths place, so 1/100ths, which is equivalent to 10/1000ths. So if we look at a whole number like this, 3.285, remember that the the place value, the digit immediately to the left of the decimal point is the ones. Immediately to the right of the decimal point is the tenths. And then to the right of that is the hundredths. To the right of that is the thousandths. So as we look at this, 3.285, what I want you to think about is, what does each digit represent? What does the 3 represent? So the 3, I look over here and I say, well, here's the 3, and it is immediately to the left of the decimal point, so it's in the ones place. So if I have 3 ones, that just gives me 3, right? Just normal old 3. And if I look at this 2, I say, what does the 2 represent? What is the value of the 2 in this number? Well, depends what place value it is, right? And it is in the place value immediately to the right of the decimal point, which means it's in the tenths. So I've got 2 tenths, and I'm going to actually write it as a fraction, so I can kind of think about that, since we're already really familiar with fractions. So 2 tenths is what that is equal to, that the 2 in that number. And then the 8, right? Here's the 8. It's in the thousandths place, so that means it's 8 thousandths. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I take that back? You know, Mr. Nazarian, sometimes I make mistakes. So I thought that doesn't sound right. So I'll look at the 8, and that's why we're always going to double check ourselves, right? 8, and it's in the hundredths place. Hundredths place. Where is it? It's in the hundredths place. All right. So it's 8. It's in the hundredths place, which means it's 8 hundredths. And finally now, I think I was rushing ahead there. Finally, for the 5, I look, okay, the 5, it is 1, 2, 3 places to the right of the decimal point, which means it's the thousandths place, so it's 5 thousandths. Okay. And barring any mistakes from Mr. Nazarian, that is how you read decimals. All right, see you tomorrow.